Hey everybody. Well, as you can see, this was my experiment of boring my own Kohler block out. I did a video a couple of weeks ago. Thought I'd do another update video and kind of get in a little more into depth of what I did and why. Years ago, I used to work Caterpillar at the Large Engine Center, and I also was a machinist at ThyssenKrupp for Cummins, John Deere, and Caterpillar cranks and stuff. And the biggest rule of thumb that was always taught is for every inch that the piece that you're machining or whatever, you need at least a thou of clearance. So let's say a cylinder 4-inch bore, you would need 4 thou clearance. Rod journals, main journals, if it's a 3-inch main, then you're going to need at least 3 thou clearance. So when I started on this block, I measured the cylinder. I think I was 7 or 8 thou at the top, well, kind of middle of the cylinder where you're going to get most of your wear. So I knew I needed a rebore. I was looking at my book. This is my spec book for Kohlers. And if we look, piston to cylinder bore, their clearance is showing 6 to 9 thousandths, which again, to me that's too loose. That's kind of what I was talking about in the first video of this. So what I did, I went ahead and ordered the piston, and of course you use a micrometer, and you find the diameter of your piston, and then I set my bore gauge to this at 0. So then when I drop it in the cylinder, it would see how much under or over I was from 0 to let me know how much I needed to take out or how close I was. So when I got started, the bottom of the cylinder compared to the top of the cylinder was about 4 thou difference. So when I started honing with the 100 grit, I would work the bottom of the cylinder 2 to 3 times and then do a full length of the whole cylinder, and then go work the bottom again to take more out of the bottom but keep it a consistent rotation throughout how I was working it. So once I got close from the bottom to the top within a couple thou, then I went ahead and switched my grit to the 220. Stock bore of this Kohler K301 was 3.375. The new piston measured 3.383. So especially on a cast piston, they're not going to be exactly true like they're going to be on a forged piston. Forged are a lot more precise, piece of machine. So always measure your new part, figure out how much clearance you're going to need, and then do your machining to, fit that. And here's something else, and I think this is why Kohler had such slop or looseness back in the 60s, 50s, and 60s when they built these engines. The pistons back then, the cast pistons, which this was 1950s, 60 technology, didn't have the silicone in the casting like they do today. So they expanded more, which would have taken up the gap. The new pistons today have, I think, a minimum of 12% silicone, which keeps these from expanding like they used to. So again, that's why I also think we don't need the excess clearance in there. That stock one piston before I got started, you literally could take your hand and you could rock the piston side to side, and you can see it's get very little movement. It's very smooth turning. Here are my new valves. I have not got my valve seat cutter yet. So I gotta seat them before I can lap them. But that's kind of an update of, you know, how I've done this and why I've done this. So anyhow, if that answers any questions for anybody, as soon as I get the valve seats cut, lap the valves in, I will go ahead and finish this engine up, get it all painted, and have it ready to run. And I'm definitely curious to see a little tighter piston than what, you know, they used to build these things at, how this thing's gonna run. So anyhow, if you have any comments, please let me know. Make sure you like, subscribe. We'll go from there.